Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone tonight? I've got a nice little window without the clouds here in Columbus, Ohio. Doing a close-up with a 4mm lens using a Dobson telescope in Columbus, Ohio. Now, if you look up tonight above the moon right now and off to the upper left-hand side, you'll see a bright red star. That is Antares star. That is the heart of Scorpio. But right now, we are getting a beautiful view of the Caucasus Islands. Nope, sorry, that is the Caucasus Mountains, and also the Apennines, which is the stretch. I'm going to put it right in the center of the screen. So those are the Apennine mountain range. All of that movement that you're seeing across the view of your lens right now, that is due to Earth's rotation. I'm not touching the telescope at all. This is just the moon moving across our skies as we turn. There we go, a little bit more crispy. The two larger craters moving into your view right now, the one up at the top of the middle of your screen, that is Eudoxus crater, and the one below it is Aristotle's crater. Now these next three that are in the center of your screen, lower left-hand side, that is Aristotle's crater. Above it, the smaller one is Autolycus, and the large one to the upper right-hand side is Archimedes crater. This darkened area that you see in the center of your screen, that is the Sea of Crisis. Above it and to the left, those dark areas that kind of look like a ripple, that is the Sea of Waves. Above it, you have the Sea of Fertility. To the left-hand side of the Sea of Fertility, you'll have that bright area that's right on the very edge. That is Langrenus crater. This next darkened area that you see coming into the center of your screen is the Sea of Tranquility. That is also where Apollo 11 landed. Now, your view of the moon tonight using my telescope is actually flipped upside down and backwards, and that is due to the type of telescope I'm using. This is a Dobsonian 10 telescope, and you're viewing the moon through a 4mm lens. To the upper left-hand side, that is the Sea of Tranquility. This next sea that's a little bit lighter coming in at the bottom on the lower right, that is the Sea of Serenity. In between those two, there's a point that kind of comes up in between the two at the bottom, and off to the left-hand side, That is near where Apollo 17 landed, near Littrow. Above the Sea of Serenity, you have the darkened area, kind of looks a little bit grayer. That is the Sea of Vapors. Hey, K5AG, how are you doing tonight? I've now moved the telescope so that way you are getting a view of the Southern Highlands. This area is pockmarked full of craters. Hello, Maddox. How are you doing this evening? We're enjoying a lovely view of the moon tonight with the Dob 10 telescope using a 4mm lens. Isn't it pretty? Hello, SCP. How are you doing tonight? Now, this is the very southern portion of the moon. Mind you that our view of the moon is flipped upside down and backwards, and that is due to the type of telescope that I'm using. So just imagine if you're looking up that what is down is up and what is to the left is actually to the right. Unfortunately, I did not get a very good view of the Perseids. I had rain the whole entire week last week. That's why I haven't put anything out. There's nothing been going on. It's just been rain, rain, more rain, and rain on top of storms. Hi, Tom. How are you doing tonight? Good to see you, my friend. Tom is another wonderful novice astronomer. He's based in Texas, and we've been chums for quite a while. Quite the good chap. So we're just sitting here in the garage and enjoying the crickets. Now, if you happen to have clear skies tonight, and if you can look out your window, and if it's dark, if it's nighttime, if you look up above the moon, up into the left-hand side, you'll see a bright red star that is flickering. That is Antares star. That is the heart of Scorpio. About to set up yourself. Sweet. Hope you have clear skies. This is the first bit of clear skies I've had in almost 11 days. It's been crazy here. Just rain, 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 rain. And poor Indiana, they are just flooded out and without electricity and everything else. Both of us are having a rough time this week with rain. So again, this is the southern portion of our moon. To the upper side, you'll see a really dark, large crater. That is Clavius crater. And later on, it will actually be lit up just enough to where you can actually start to see more detail inside of that crater. Now over here, let's see if I can get a little bit closer on that. Okay, coming through the center of your screen right now, there is a bright line that kind of wiggles its way through the center of your screen. That is Altai Scarp. And that was created with a depression of the Sea of Nectar. So that dark sea that's just below that scarp, that is the Sea of Nectar. Got a train going by. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. Sorry for the old rickety chair. This was Dad's chair from his old boot store. So I keep it around just to remind me that he's still with me in my heart. Every time I view the moon or anything else, a little bit of him is with us. It's a lovely little thought. He's the one that actually got me interested in viewing the moon and the stars and the planets. He used to point them out to me when I was young, living in East Tennessee. That was our TV back in the 80s. In Bainbury, we could barely get PBS TV station, let alone anything else. So our TV was the skies. We would go out and lay on a blanket and just look up at the stars. He used to tell us crazy stories about the constellations and everything else. Dad was a character. Although I'm not quite sure who was the best tail swapper, either him or my grandfather. Both of them were really good storytellers, though. Now this darkened area that you're seeing that's coming in into the center of your screen from the right-hand side, that is going to make a long swath across the middle of the screen. That is the Sea of Cold, also known as Mare Frigoris. In the center of your screen, that is the Sea of Crisis. Below the Sea of Crisis, you'll see kind of a darkened wiggle line. That is the Sea of Snakes. Above the Sea of Crisis is a large white area that kind of looks foamy, which is probably the reason why it was named the Sea of Foam. That bright area that's just to the right-hand side of the Sea of Crisis, that little dot, that is Proclus Crater. Above Proclus Crater and to the right-hand side, that is the Sea of Tranquility. Now, coming into view from the right-hand side, you'll see an area that's kind of white, looks like kind of like a mouth that's coming down, getting ready to eat a tiny white dot. That tiny white dot is Moltke Crater. Just below Moltke Crater and to the right-hand side, just a teeny tiny bit, is where Apollo 11 landed within the Sea of Tranquility. Just a lovely, lovely view. Us and the crickets. Let's go see Antares for a second. There's Antares. There we go. That is a red giant. Antares is actually cooler than our sun. The bluer a star, the hotter it is and the faster that it will burn out. But a red star is actually cooler. This is a star that is in a dying phase, so it's actually getting bigger and bigger and bigger as it eats up all of it, the rest of its fuel. No spamming my page there, ex-night shifter. You need to find something else better to do with your time. Good night. Antares is the heart of Scorpio. Our own sun at some point will end up beginning its dying phase in about 5.5 billion years. Once that happens, it too will go through this phase of getting larger and larger as it begins to die. It will probably end up eating up Mercury and Venus. Whether or not if it consumes Earth, we're not quite sure. But that's not going to happen for another 5.5 billion years or so. Sometimes when stars die, they become white dwarfs, like our star will end up doing at some point. Others blow up and become nebula. They leave remnants of gases behind and give us all of the beautiful colors that we see for nebulas in our night skies. Sometimes when they blow up, they end up becoming black holes or dark stars, as Dr. Becky Smethurst would call them. Let's see here. Vega's not quite over the garage yet. Head on back to the moon. Saturn is actually rising earlier and earlier in the evening. So by late fall, it should be up quite a bit by this time. But right now, it's just, we just don't have it viewable now. It's still a little bit too low on the horizon. Well, gang, it has been lovely. Thank you for coming out and saying hello. I appreciate you. Hope you have wonderful clear skies, and keep looking up and asking questions.